I am terrified and you should be too. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's me. Today is a little bit of a heavy topic, I guess. Not heavy, just real. And yesterday I was doing some thinking about it, and I think I want to redirect my channel into not necessarily a completely different direction, but I want my channel to really have a purpose. I don't want it to just be like blind comedy of me acting like an idiot all the time, which is a big part of me. I am very much so an idiot sometimes, but I don't want it to only be that because actually yesterday, the 1975, yes, you guys, me starting my sentence like that, you guys are gonna laugh, but this is me saying, everyone, please listen to the 1975's newest release song. They're a band, if you don't know that. They're like an indie band. And they released a song called The 1975. And it made me cry, to be honest, because it was the spoken word, so it wasn't actually singing. It was just like a really beautiful, like, piano, like classical background, and this girl was talking about how the planet is dying and we are very close to having irreversible damage upon the earth with climate change and our usage of gas and oils and greenhouse emissions and stuff like that, and it honestly was really scary. Ever since it started coming really on the front lines and I became aware enough to take it into consideration of how it affects my life and how it will affect my life in the future and the life of hopefully generations to come in the future, it's really scary, honestly, and it made me really sad and concerned for the future and concerned for now. I questioned myself. I was like, do I have a platform? Do I have any way where I can use my voice to help try to make a change? Is there anything I can do individually to help people see and change so that we can, I don't even know, try to work towards minimizing our own impact upon the environment? I am a very large believer in the fact that climate change is happening and that it is really terrifying and affecting the planet in ways that we don't even think about. Like, it's terrifying, but so many species of animals and reptiles and bugs and just even plants and stuff, they're going extinct because the earth is warming at a rate that is really terrifying. And there are regions of the Arctic right now that are on fire. That has never happened before that I can tell. The things that I'm saying right now, the facts that I'm saying, those are based on what I've read. I don't remember the articles offhand, the specific people who wrote them, or the specific dates, or even if what I read like was 100% accurate. So please don't take anything that I'm saying as 100% fact, or if you do decide to go do your own research and you see that I said something maybe that was a little off, please don't come to me and get mad at me. I'm just trying to spread awareness that this is actually happening. So what am I gonna do? I still want to keep a positive, vibrant energy on my channel. I know I'm very new and there's only 8 people subscribed to me, which thank you, by the way, but this is really important to me, and I think it's very important to me because I've always been very aware of nature and the earth because I grew up in a way where I was constantly surrounded by nature. The first scare that I experienced with climate change was where I was growing up, there had never been a such thing as fire season. And when I was 9 years old, suddenly there were fires everywhere where I was living. And a couple times the place that we were living, and we still own that property. Just a little backstory, it's in the middle of a big meadow in the middle of nowhere, It's so beautiful. It's secluded. There's a river. There's like mountain ranges around us. It's the most beautiful place I've ever been to in my life. When I was 9 years old, the fire season started for the first time, and there were fires everywhere. And the town that I was born in was like threatened. There was a wildfire in the national forest like 10 miles away from that city. And it was really scary. I was 9 years old, so I was a little bit like, that's weird that there's suddenly fires, but whatever, I guess it's just a drought because we live in a desert. But that was the worst drought that state has ever experienced in like such a long time. I don't know if that's the worst drought it's ever experienced ever. I don't know the facts, so I don't want to say for sure. However, that was real, and now there's such thing as a fire season in that state. And that was like my first wake-up call to like, wait, the planet is changing in some way that I'm not used to, and it's kind of weird and kind of scary. That was in 2010, okay? It's 2019 now. That was 9 years ago. Ever since then, I like had it in the back of my mind, but what I'm seeing right now in the world is it's so much easier to just turn a blind eye and pretend that nothing is happening. Because for a lot of people, at least in America, like in certain areas of America and in Europe and whatever, there's not enough big scary things happening regarding the environment for people to really care. People don't see trash flooding and filling the ocean and clogging shit up in the oceans. Not a lot of people see that. There are a lot of people who do see that, but not enough people see that to really notice or care that that's actually happening. Not a lot of people live in the Arctic, I'm sure. If they do, then I'm sure they're experiencing the fires, but the people here, we can't really tell for sure, oh yeah, that's happening. So we care and we want to make a change in our area, in our own lives, to try to help the planet so that there's no more fires in the Arctic. There's people in America who have like normal weather here in their area, so they don't really care or notice that there's a huge heat wave going on in Europe and in certain parts of America, the heat is killing people. Like, people are dying from heat-related accidents, illnesses, whatever. And that's the thing, is that people who don't experience or aren't experiencing or seeing direct climate change-related problems or disasters or catastrophes, it's easier for them to just say, oh, well, it's not happening to me, so I don't need to worry about it. I can say that from direct experience for myself. I have noticed like it's hotter a lot more. I don't want to go outside as much because it is just so hot all the time. Where I was during the winter, it was snowing like earlier than normal, but I just thought that was pretty cool. So I was like, oh, it's not that bad. Like, climate change isn't that bad because it's snowing. Like, I even have that. So after listening to that song, spoken piece, whatever, yesterday by the 1975, I realized that it's time to stop turning a blind eye. Like, we need to just stop pretending that nothing is happening, because that is what is not making any change. That is what is continuing to harm and hurt our planet in such a way that there was an article by CNN that in 18 months, if we don't do anything in 18 months, that our damage that we're causing is irreversible. Just think about that for a second. It's irreversible in 18 months. We can't do anything to completely reverse climate change if we don't do anything in 18 months. We could experience the most terrible, terrifying catastrophes ever. We could stop being a race as humans. Eventually, I feel like we will. And that might be sooner than later. Those who don't believe in it, I can't say I respect that, because it gets to a point that's past respect, because we're killing our planet. It's time to wake up. It really is. If you have any children, babies, whatever in your family, or that you know directly, if you don't believe it for yourself in your own life, just consider them and how life and the conditions of the world will be for them when they're older. They might not even be able to live past a certain age. because the conditions of the earth are too harsh and we might not even survive as a population. So if you're really struggling to believe in climate change, think about your younger generations that are here with you right now. Those babies, those little kids. They might not be able to go outside after a while. They might have to be stuck inside of a place. They might not even be able to like breathe fresh normal air in a few years. Think about that. Think about that for yourself. If you're young, if you're a young teenager in your 20s, it could still happen to you. We don't know how fast this is going to happen. We don't know. And if we don't do anything in 18 months, we're honestly fucked. So I'm not trying to be the bearer of shitty news, but honestly, it is what it is. And we have been so blind and so ignorant by choice that we have left ourselves with no option. So what can we do? What can we do to... That was a big wasp. What can we do to like minimize it and do stuff in our own lives to help reduce our footprint on the world? I know a lot of people say, oh, well, what I don't do doesn't matter because like one person's change isn't going to do anything. It starts with single-use people. Like your choice affects how large corporations fund and create their products. I'm going to say this and I'm going to say it again, and I know that so many people have heard this because it is starting to become a very big thing throughout the world. Like people are starting to realize plastic is terrible for the earth. So bad. We are literally choking our oceans with plastic. Yeah, what can we do? Stop using single-use plastic. When you go to the grocery store, try to minimize your purchases of items that are like packaged in plastic. Cardboard I don't think is as bad, but still, like, just try to minimize your use of packaged goods. Single-use straws, single-use utensils, to-go coffee cups, and like drink cups, like styrofoam stuff is really not good for the environment either. Stuff like that. Just stuff that you always throw away. Like trash bags and stuff. Bring your own freaking cloth bags to the store, or if you have plastic grocery bags at home, take those and reuse them, or like take them to like, I know Natural Grocers and some grocery stores, they allow for you to bring your plastic bags to the store, and there's like a bin and you put them in there and then they recycle them or like reuse them or something like that. And then also carbon emissions. Cars, airplanes. I know that we're in an age where everyone wants to travel. I want to travel. I am going to travel in January. And honestly, yesterday I was considering canceling my flight because I was like, that is one more flight that is ruining the planet, which is really sad. It really is. Me considering not being able to experience the world because I'm scared of the emissions that airplane is going to cause is scary, and it's sad because I want to travel. I want to go visit my friends in Europe. I really do. But that was just a thought that I had, and it's sad. Minimizing car use. That's something I need to work on myself, is I drive in a car so much, and that is really bad for the planet, especially if you have a car that is not fuel efficient, and that's pumping so many emissions into the air. And my stepdad has a Prius, and that gets like 60 miles per gallon. He can drive from Florida to New Mexico in 2 days and only fill up his tank twice. My car, I have to fill up at least 6 times. Also, when you like wash clothes, wash them on cold water. Don't put them in the dryer, hang them up outside or in your house or something. Try to like buy second-hand clothing. That's something I need to get better at as well. I need to stop buying clothes at a store that does like fast fashion, because that is so bad. It's just not good for the environment. I'm not going to get into the whole veganism or vegetarian thing because I have problems with both the meat and the vegan communities, the vegan industries, the meat industries. Both are so corrupt, and I don't want to get into that, so I'm not going to get into that. Yeah, I guess all I'm trying to say is we need to wake up. and I'm going to redirect my channel. It's not going to just be what I've been making all along. It'll still be full of like fun stuff, but I'm really going to start tailoring it into things that I like. I don't need to get all the views, I don't need to get all the subscribers, I don't need to get all of that. I just want my YouTube channel to be full of things that I love. This is something I'm really passionate about, and I want my channel to be full of videos that I'm passionate about. And I also want to help people. I want to help people become more understanding of what's going on. I need to educate myself more on what's going on. But just like sometimes I feel very stuck about how I feel about it, so I feel like being able to talk about it to a camera is going to be very helpful. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Okay, I love you guys, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.